Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome back to another live on the channel. Tonight, we have a load to talk about. Today's been absolutely mad for Leicester City transfer news. There's about 10 players we need to discuss. Loads of players being linked away. Still some players being linked. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting stream. We've got so much news to get through. As always, make sure to go and drop a like. Get involved in the chat as we go through with like Ndidi, Castagne, Soumare, Christensen, etc., Sutar, some links with McAtee, Issahaku Fatawu being linked as well. Obviously, that's nearly a done deal. So much stuff. So, yeah, just before we get into the first story, which is going to be Castagne, because Timothy Castagne to Fulham is a done deal. Here we go. Medical currently for the Belgian. So we'll go through that to start things off tonight. But yeah, let's get into the chat, of course. And Ndidi's going to be a big debate as well, I think, in the chat tonight, which is going to be good. Good to get him gone. Talking about Ndidi, there we go. Then Ndidi to Forest can happen. Who cares if it's Forest? But Bournemouth, I think are meant to be iffy about 25 million for Daka. Yeah, that's gone a bit quiet, the Daka deal, hasn't it? And there we go. Someone doesn't want to. Leicester for life doesn't want to sell Ndidi. So I'll give my take on it in a minute. So Ndidi, Defo, he's mid, and now and Castagne can play where he is. Who cares if it's Forest? No one else will take him. So there we go. Interesting. So yeah, I've got to keep Ndidi. Castagne to Fulham is a done deal. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Here we go. But yeah, just before we talk about Ndidi, we'll just quickly go through this Castagne deal. I won't go on for too long because obviously it's a done deal. But yeah, this is from Fabrizio Romano. Then earlier on today, Timothy Castagne completed the final part of medical tests as the Fulham player in London. Permanent transfer from Leicester. Personal terms agreed. Fee in excess of 13 million. Here we go. So yeah, there we go. 13 million for Castagne, potentially rising a little bit. I think that's quite a good deal, to be fair. Obviously, how much did we sign him for in a year? I don't know. I don't think we signed him for that much from Atalanta a few years ago. But I think, let's say 50 million just to round it up. I think that's quite a good bit. It's a decent bit of business. He wasn't going to play. He's clearly not in the plans. He's clearly a player who wanted to leave. So in my opinion, we've done the right thing and let him go. And he said he wanted to move to a big European club. Instead, he's ended up at Fulham, which is quite funny. But I think it's a good thing to do. Get some Gedled out. Obviously helps us financially to balance the books as well. And hopefully we can look to reinvest some of that money in these final few days. But obviously everything is happening now so quickly, so late on in the window. And that always happens for some reason. But obviously everyone does things at the same time. And then the chain reaction happens. Fulham probably sold someone. They bring Castagne in. Or Leicester wants someone. And, it all happens in one, doesn't it? So, but yeah, Fulham, Castagne to Fulham, done deal. Here we go. That may get announced tonight. So we'll keep an eye on it. I will be going live as well at 8:30 to talk about the Tranmere game tomorrow. So if you're free, make sure to join us for that one. But yeah, I think the main story is going to be Wilfred Ndidi. Just before we get onto that, we'll get into the chat. But let me know in the chat. Ndidi to Forest, what are your thoughts? Yes, no? I know there's some people saying they don't want to. Castagne served as well. Best of luck for Fulham. Yeah, he's one of them who I think he's always been. I wouldn't say he was pretty poor last year, but he's always been fairly solid enough, hasn't he? He's came in, he's been reliable for when Ricardo, Justin were out injured. So yeah, it's one of them really. But I think last year he obviously ended in quite a poor way, which most people did, to be fair. It's proper Tim Pot if we say no, don't sell him, because Forest makes us look obsessed. Yeah, we'll talk about. I could get into my thoughts and opinion. The fact we're selling players for more and bringing the better players for the system is massive, 100%. And I think the money for Castagne is a really good deal, to be fair. But yeah, let's talk about the main bit then. Wilfred Ndidi. If you don't know, Forest are interested, but there has been a little twist recently. So let me just go and find the tweets. Yeah, this was from last night from Fabrizio Romano. There's been a bit of a twist in the last an hour or so. But yeah, from last night, Fabrizio Romano exclusive. Nottingham Forest set to bid for Wilfred Ndidi. Proposal expected to be submitted soon for the Nigerian DM as he's a top target. Understand personal terms have been agreed and negotiations also now start between the two clubs. Forest will push to make it happen. And this morning, TalkSport reported that Forest are closing in on the deal for Wilfred Ndidi to Nottingham Forest, of course. But just a few minutes ago, there's been a bit of a mix. There's been a bit of an interesting one. So let me just try and find the tweet. Here we go. So yeah, this just came in about half an hour ago, 5:20. It's about an hour ago actually. Breaking news: Bayern Munich could now blow Nottingham Forest away to sign Leicester City's Wilfred Ndidi. Now this isn't as reliable as a Fabrizio Romano, but I believe Bayern Munich have had interest in him in the past. I don't know if I'm making that up or not, but now Bayern Munich are interested. So if we had the choice, obviously we would all say let go to Bayern Munich because, yes, Forest. If we had the choice, I wouldn't want him to go to Forest, obviously. But you know, if we can get a decent fee for him, do it, 100%. I don't want him to go Forest. It's not ideal. It's not the perfect situation, but it's what it is, really. He's not going to. He doesn't fit the system. He's been pretty washed for the last 2 years, and he probably wants to move himself. And if we can get 50 million for him, do it right now because we can reinvest, get someone in like McAtee, who we're linked with from Manchester City, who excelled last year for Sheffield United in the Championship. Get the deal done for Wilfred Ndidi. I just don't really care. And if Bayern Munich want to come in for him and lump on a massive deal for him or under Thomas Tuchel, we may be a fan of him because Wilfred, we all know how good he can be. But obviously, the last few years he's been pretty awful. So, in my opinion, I'd sell him because we need to move these players on. But let's get back into the chat then. If Wolf's down to join Forest, which he is, good riddance. He wants to go, so why should we hold back? Exactly that. And he will be hated if he does go there. A bidding war for Ndidi, that is brilliant. Yeah, but obviously the transfer window is closing literally a few days. So I hope the bidding war, if there is one, doesn't last for too long and Bayern Munich just come in. It's a bit random, but it is a decent source. The fact a few teams are after him shows he's probably going to go. And Diddy will go. I'm pretty sure of it. All right, Alfie, mate, welcome to the stream. Will and Diddy be hate? Yeah. But yeah, I don't really care who he goes to. I just want us to get the deal done because we need to bring in a few other players. Obviously, the squad's still right now, it's quite big. But if we can let the likes of Christensen go, who's obviously at Bologna, not officially, but he's having his medical there right now. He was pictured there at the Italian side. Obviously, Castagne is going to Fulham. That's a done deal. We'll talk about Soumare in a minute, but it looks like he could be on his way to Sevilla on the loan for the season. There's still interest from Rangers and likes of Harry Souttar as well, so that could be a potential deal. There's small rumours of Iheanacho to Palace and Wolves. I don't think that's going to happen. And obviously, we had the rumour about Daka, but that's gone quiet, so I'm not too sure about that one. And if we don't see anything tonight or tomorrow, I believe we will keep hold of all the strikers we do have, and we don't think we'll bring another striker in. But yeah, let's jump back into the chat. Good stuff tonight. Keep getting involved. Why do people want to keep him? 100%. That's the thing. If we were playing this a 4-3-3 with a holding midfield, I would understand it a bit more, but we're not. And Diddy's playing in a position which he's not suited to. And if Castagne was in it from the start, I don't think Ndidi would have played a minute this year, to be perfectly honest. So I think Enzo just playing there because he's got a decent ability to win the ball back. And to be honest, I don't think he's been that bad really this year, as Ndidi in his more advanced role. But there's players who we can play there in their more natural position who will do much better. And for me, if Ndidi wants to go, just let him go. There's no point having people here who don't want to be here, and that's quite obvious. Would get stick, but not true or level stick. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not saying I hate him, but he's just not good enough. Yeah, you're 100% right, Doug, mate. I think he's been awful for the last couple of years, to be perfectly honest. The guy can't pass the ball. He can't seem to break the play up, and he's just a liability. And he was a big part of our relegation last year. I think, but I don't want to stick on him too much because when Ndidi was good, he was one of the best DMs in the whole league, and he was getting compared to Declan Rice, and at the time it was probably it was right. But let's move on then to a potential incoming for Leicester City. You know how good I am with names. I'm going to absolutely butcher the hell out of this one. Abdul come closer. Abdul go back. Abdul Fatawu Issahaku. I think that's about right. Has completed his Leicester City medical. So this one may get announced tonight, hopefully, or tomorrow before the Tranmere game, or even in the Tranmere game. But yeah, this is going to be our next signing. 8th signing of the summer, I believe. Loan deal with an option to buy. It's another deal with a silly little clause in it. If he plays a certain amount of games, Leicester will have to pay something for next year. But 19 years old, Ghanaian international, currently Sporting Lisbon, as you can see from the picture. He's another right winger as well. So this could be another one getting over the line. And finally, we have some winger depth, which is very good to see. But I would say, and I don't have a clue who he is. Never heard of him. Never watched him. Unknown signing. But same with Ndidi, to be fair. And he's come in and done quite good. So it's one of them. And if Enzo sees something in him, allow it. Let Enzo cook. So we'll have to see how quickly this one does get announced. But I would imagine this would be our next signing to be announced because obviously it says there a medical. There's been the Athletic. Rob Tanner have been reporting that it's a done deal as well, pretty much. So yeah, this one is a confirmed deal for Abdul Fatawu Issahaku. I don't know. I think his actual, how you actually say it is Issahaku Fatawa. Like, I looked at his Instagram, that's what he says there. So I don't know. But there we go. Why do we sign players with weird names to try and butcher me? That's why. Interesting to see what happens with Brighton. Yeah, he's another one who doesn't look like he's going to be going, does he? Unless it's like a loan deal, kind of like a last-minute loan, kind of like, was Chowdhury last minute last year? I don't know. But you know what I mean, something like that. I thought Ndidi was happy with being with us. He saw the Premier League and probably wanted to go. Apparently, yeah, I've just seen that. Mama Baldy, what a name. We'll get into that a bit later on. But he is a striker, actually. Some of these players' names are a bit interesting, aren't they? But there we go. But yeah, we'll talk about him a bit more if we can, obviously, when it does get officially announced. But it may get announced tonight because Jason Bourne, after the Rotherham game on the weekend, said this. And obviously it's bank holiday, so the weekend carries on. He's unlikely to be the last player to join before Friday's deadline. I'm told they're trying to finalise another deal, potentially as soon as the weekend. So, yeah, that is probably about Fatawa. So let's hope we can get it announced potentially tonight, 7 o'clock maybe. Obviously, we're going live again tonight a bit later, so maybe it can get announced live on the stream. Beautiful scenes. But yeah, that one will be announced. Will Akgun be on the bench tomorrow? I hope he starts. We'll have to see, but I think he'll definitely be in the matchday squad. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Tranmere game in the stream at 8:30. But yeah, I would think he would definitely be in the team. Still needs Wars and Iverson to go. Yeah, I agree. But there's been no rumours after, so it's going to be interesting for them too because they don't look anywhere near the squad. Hemerson and Stolarczyk look like the number 1 and 2, and they're both quite competent keepers. I imagine Stolarczyk will start tomorrow against Tranmere away in the cup, obviously. Owen Harvey-Bellis after the Fatawa guy. Yeah, Leicester are. Enzo does want. There was a tweet from Rob Tanner or the Athletic or someone. I'll put it on in a minute, but obviously want to sell the deadwood, and then Enzo wants another centre back. So that could well be Harvard-Bellis from Man City. I'll definitely take him. Hello, Rene. Hope you're doing all right. Not to do myself. Yeah, 5 keepers should get rid of 2. Yeah, but if no one wants them, it's going to be difficult to sell them, innit? So we'll have to see. But I'm not really too bothered about them. If they want to sit, I don't really care. I was going to talk about Fatawa, but we'll move on from him. Right then, next up, another player being linked to Luke Thomas now to Leeds, which is interesting. So, yeah, let's get on to this. Manchester United are also interested in Luke Thomas, which is pretty mental. But yeah, this is from the Athletics, so very reliable as you can get, really, for English transfer news. Leicester City defender Luke Thomas on Leeds United's radar. Left-back options reduced by Sam Barham's injury. 2 inquiries for Thomas so far. Leicester unsure about loaning to a championship rival. So, yeah, I understand the last bit of that. It's a bit of a random one, but Luke Thomas clearly is going to want game time, obviously. He's not going to get that at Leicester because he doesn't suit the way we play, because I can't really imagine Luke Thomas playing inverted, and Callum Doyle looks to have that left-back or left centre-back position pretty much his own. So, you know, unless anyone gets injured, Luke Thomas is going to be nowhere near the starting lineup. So I don't blame him for wanting to leave, to be fair. And, you know, you'd hope that Enzo will be the manager for Leicester for a number of years. And I say do it on a permanent, really, because what's the point of loaning him out for him to come back next year and, you know, be in the same position? But Man United want him as well, which is interesting. Man United want Evans, Bertrand and Thomas. I don't know what they're thinking, but yeah, strange stuff. But the only thing about this, I don't really want him to go to Leeds because I think Luke Thomas is a decent player and I don't really want to strengthen a rival. So I'd rather him go to Premier League on loan. But obviously there's no offer right now for that apart from United. But I don't think I should go there. But we'll have to see. But yeah, let's get back into chat. Man United's business is was it 72 for that geezer? Jesus, I never realised that. It's on Evans and I know it's mad, isn't it? I didn't really clock how much they paid for Anthony last year either. It's bloody shoot. The market's absolutely tapped. I hope Bayern bid 100 million. Yeah, yeah, maybe about 70%, but less than that, Marks. But yeah, this is Martin Glover's first summer as our head of recruitment. You can see the difference compared to other summers. Yeah, 100%. And I feel like we get Fatawa over the last 8 players already, and it's mad. Last year we signed 1. Apparently, according to my mate, a Celtic fan, Brendan, is doing badly indeed. Yeah, Celtic fans are not happy with Brendan, and apparently he's playing literally the same way as he did before he got sacked at us. So yeah, he went there to try and he went there to build up his CV again, and it's not going well, is it? Unlucky, you silly man. Silly man. Anyway, moving on then. Another one. There's a bit about Fatwa being confirmed there, but we'll do that. Next up then, Boubakary Soumare. Now, this one is definitely one I would do want to see happen because I do not rate the guy at all, to be perfectly honest. Some of you guys will, some of you guys won't. This is from I don't know what source it is, but anyway. Soumare has agreed personal terms with Sevilla. He only wants Sevilla for some reason. The operation will be a loan with an obligation to buy. So do it. Just like it's a similar deal to the Christensen deal. Soumare doesn't look anywhere near getting into this team, does he? So let's hope we can do it. Because personally, I just don't rate the guy at all, really. He's got good attributes, but I just don't think he suits the English game. That's my take on it. I think he's got the attributes, but his football IQ is just not there. I don't know. He just seems to not really know what to do with it sometimes, and he's had a few decent games for us, but never really excelled in my opinion. So I wouldn't be against getting Soumare gone, to be honest. Yeah, just as Finn said, it's one of them really. And some players just don't do well in the Premier League, and obviously especially the Premier League and the English game. And if he did play in the Championship, yeah, he'd probably do all right, wouldn't he? But if he wants to go, which I don't blame him for, he's let him go because I don't think he has much of a future at Leicester, realistically. He's not a Premier Championship player. I think he's a Championship player easily, but yeah, I think he just doesn't suit the English game, really. He suits a game where he's got more time on the ball, more time to assess it, and that's the thing. The only thing, it's just annoying though, because he has all the attributes that absolutely excel. He's so powerful, and he's got the build for it. And when he was at Lille, I think it was, we saw clips of him, beating 2 or 3 men, bringing the ball from midfield, and he's rarely ever done that. Leicester, the only game I could think about him driving through midfield was that Moscow game in the Europa League a few years ago. But apart from that, he just never really seemed to do. He could come down to the manager saying pass it on, but I don't know. He just seems to have the attributes in there. He's big. He's got long legs. He could probably make a tackle, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just don't get it. Really don't get it. But yeah, it just hasn't worked out, has it? I like this Enzo guy. He knows right wing, left wing striker. Who do you mean by that? Fatwa. Chelsea's business is even worse than Man United. Yeah, the money's pathetic now, isn't it? Caicedo, 150 million. Yeah, no, ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say that off the ball was horrendous as well, isn't it? Yeah, and that's what I mean about his football IQ. I just don't think it's really there, to be fair. That's what you need sometimes. You can have all the attributes in the world, but if you don't watch football, you don't understand the game, it's difficult to really do well. And that's why I think people like James Maddison are so good, because we all know he constantly watches football. And obviously some players don't. They still do well, but I think if you watch football, you're going to be better at it. Obvious stuff, innit? But yeah, moving on then. There is talk about Harry Souttar to Rangers. Obviously, that's been going on for a while. There's nothing too concrete there, though, so I won't talk about it too much. Let's get back into the chat. Half of these players who are on big money weren't even known 1 to 2 years ago. I know it's meant to absolutely, like Caicedo and Lavia, mad. I mean, Enzo, 100%. Maddison doing brilliant for Spurs. Indeed, he settled in quite nicely there. Tielemans has done absolutely nothing. Barnes, to be fair, did well in his first game, but didn't do anything last night, did he? Against Liverpool, Darwizzy, obviously scoring, didn't he? 2 goals late on. But yeah, moving on then. An incoming, which will be interesting. And this is the guy I think would be beautiful for us. James McAtee from Manchester City, who was at Sheffield United last year, was fantastic in their promotion season, apparently. And I think it would be a very good signing. Obviously, Enzo is going to know him from the Man City youth squad and the youth setup. So I think this could be a one we get done. But this is from a mail. It's from the mail, and there's nothing concrete. Leicester just interested. So we would have to see if this one does develop. But this will be a player who I definitely like to see, because it's still good signing these wingers who are unknown. But this guy's got Championship experience, and I think we need that. And obviously we've got Castagne in there as well, but. If Dewsbury or Castagne get injured and we can't keep playing Dewsbury or Castagne, I don't know if Pratt's going to stay or not. We can't play them every single game because it's not going to happen. There's 46 games in the Championship season, so we need strength and depth. And talking of Dennis Pratt, though, I don't know. He might stay. Torino don't seem to be to be doing anything, despite the fact they've been interested in him for the last 4 years, it seems. But yeah, I think Dennis Pratt may end up staying. Obviously, he's injured right now, which could be a slight factor. But yeah, we'll have to see on that front. I'd like to see what a wage pool is like now. You would hope it would be quite reduced, but then again, we don't really know the wages of the players who have obviously just come in. I imagine Cody's going to be on a decent amount and probably Winks, but hopefully the likes of Mavadidi on too much. But I think obviously with the net spend this window is good for the balance books and whatnot. So I think we'll be all right. James McAtee, Casey McAtee, yeah, we're loving it. Yeah, it is easy. It is easy journalism, to be fair. Cheddar, most likely. Yeah, but I haven't seen anything with Chair. There's not been much, has there? But any of them two, I'll definitely take it. But Enzo clearly is more interested in the centre back, and there hasn't been too many concrete links apart from Harwood Bellis for that. So we'll have to see if there's anyone coming out tonight. My question is: now we signed Akgun, what about Wani Marcel Madivadua, Makate? I have to say his full name when I say it. Makate, good to the competition. I think all the competition we get, the better, really, because just like I said, we can't keep playing the same squad every single week. And obviously, one you got completely benched, well, not benched, he was out the squad, weren't he, on Saturday? But yeah, I don't really know why, but I think the more depth you have, the better. And obviously, the likes of I think Mavadidi could. I think I've heard that Mavadidi used to play for in like a number 9 position in his last club. So obviously, there's a slight option for rotation there as well. But let's be honest, one of the wingers we have is going to get injured, so we need strength and depth. That's how I see it. And the more players we can get in, the better. Because previous years we've had no wingers, so let's not. I think we should be not moaning about the more wingers we have. Maddison is underrated for Spurs, but don't. Maddison's done brilliant for Spurs, to be fair, and I think Spurs may do better this year because obviously they've been so reliant upon Kane for so many years, obviously because he's a fantastic striker. But I don't know. I just think having Kane may unleash some more players. We the left winger, is that Sporting guy left to right? I think he's right. You know what? I'll bring up his transfer market now because I've got it up on the transfer, isn't it? Yeah, I'll bring it up on here. I think he can play. He can play in any position across the front three. This says, but obviously I'm not going to believe it too much. So yeah, this is Issahaku Fatawu or Abdul, whatever his name is. Obviously, he's only 19 as well, so this guy isn't too experienced. He is left-footed though, so that obviously could mean he could play on the left, and maybe Enzo sees him as that. It says on here his main position is obviously on the right, but he's left-footed, so could well do a job there. So yeah, we'll have to see. Well, yeah, that's interesting actually. I didn't realise he's left-footed, so maybe he could sit on a chair. Class. Top quality banter from that's awful. I'm not going to do a chant today, by the way, either boys. Only the chance if we win, all right? So if we win against Tranmere, I'll do a chant on Wednesday night stream, okay? Plus, what's Akgun all about? Needs to play 25 games to have an option to buy. Wanya and Casey, good to... Yeah, I think, yeah, but there's like just over 40 games left, and if Akgun's any good, he's going to be playing. He's going to be playing more than 25 games, I think. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? I think there's something else with Issahaku Fatawu as well with his clause or whatever. Makate will be playing as right centre mid cover and Marcel's cover for Mavadidi. Yeah, there's versatility in there, but you got players like Will Alves and Sammy Braybrook to come back into those attacking positions as well. So be interesting how Enzo features them in there. I think they will, because obviously Enzo works well with youth players and he's done it with the past. Okay, Hobnob. Oh, we would have a Hobnob. I should have done that one, shouldn't I? I probably butchered the chant as well. Yeah, check out the last stream, boys. Definitely do. Hope we sign Sporting. Hope we sign the Sporting winger if we get promoted for the Premier League. Hopefully so. Yeah, if he's any good. We use striker, not loads of more wingers. We do, and you know what? Talking of that, I'm going to try and bring up the striker breeding link with. I'm going to have a quick look on Twitter now because there seems to be a rumor every single minute. So let's have a quick look if there's anything going on. But yeah, I was going to find this little tweet of the striker we are interested in. Or it's not a very good rumor, but we'll do it anyway because why not? So yeah, here we go. All right, give me a second, boys. Here it is. Is this it? Yeah, right. Here we go. Right. So yeah, this is a striker we're interested in. I don't really know what the source is, but yeah. So yeah, Leicester City make a bid. Sorry, to Troy's. Is that a team? I saw we played them after the World Cup, didn't we? But yeah, for striker Mama Boulder, what a name. They all want to close the deal as soon as possible. Olympic Lyon is on the case as well. I think the translation's a bit lost in this. And made it. So yeah, Lyon made a bid also for him. So yeah, that is that. I don't really know who he is, but I don't know. If Enzo wants to, let's do it. But yeah, I don't think this is. It's not a reliable source. So don't take it too seriously. But apparently we've made a bid for this done. So I have to see what happens. But if we can have the thing which I want though is another permanent one, because it's all good getting loans and stuff, but I do want another permanent transfer. I'm going to call him I am going to call him Mama Baldy now because it's a good name. It's probably not how you say it, but who cares? No, we say what we want. We are SPORTSA. We'll say what we want. Teller left Southampton. Yeah, that's a big loss for them, isn't it? Good to see that because weakening at a rival. Mama Baldy. It's a good name, isn't it? Mama Baldy. My first. There we go. I'm a Suncho. Sunchu's a goat, man. I've got one of his matchroom tops up there, actually, and I sniff it before I go to bed every night. Why did I say that? But yeah, big up to Cags. I think he's doing quite well for Atletico. I don't know. Has that season even started? I don't know. But he played a few games in pre-season. Why the hell are we talking about Sunchu anyway? Anyway, moving on. Give it a sniff. Can't now, but yeah, I will. I know, mate. It's quality, isn't it? It's a good job you took 2 P's there. No. Give it a sniff. That's what she said. See, the chat's getting a bit dodgy now, isn't it? But anyway, is there anything else? Is there anything else I've not gone through? Christensen to Bologna. I've got a list. He is having his medical right now. So yeah, Christensen to Bologna on a season-long loan, option to buy. So there we go with that one. Anyone else? If Kelechi leaves, we need a replacement. We do. I don't think he's going to go. There's been slight rumours with Ian Atcher to Crystal Palace and Wolves, but nothing more on that one. Wolves going to be a tough game on Saturday. They've got obviously Ozan Tufan in it. He's a good player. He's a decent little player. But yeah, I'll just have a quick look on Twitter just to see if there is anything else. We'll head off in a minute because we are going to be going live a bit later on tonight at 8:30, where we're going to be talking about tomorrow's game against Tranmere Rovers in the Cup. But yeah, transfer news have been popping off today. So hopefully I've just about gone through everything really. So much. But yeah, as we know, this is what happens. There's probably going to be a load more coming out tomorrow. But I just hope we can get some of these more over the line. But yeah, just to wrap things up, just to go through it. Castagne to Fulham, done deal, going to get confirmed. Christensen to Bologna, loan, done deal. That's going to be confirmed. And Ndidi close to either Forest and obviously buying and out in the race for him. So we'll see what happens with that one. Issahaku Fatwa, done deal, going to be joining Leicester, 8th signing of the window. Anyone else? See, it's too much. Obviously, there's interest in Luke Thomas, Souttar, etc., but them lot are the main transfers with credible rumours and could be confirmed quickly. But yeah, but even for Castagne, do we need a fullback? Not really, to be fair, do we? Because if we're going to get a fullback, we might as well just have someone who can play that Ricardo role again. Who can come into midfield. But yeah, we'll have to see. Win more games, we'll win them. Enough for me right now. But yeah, there we go. I think we've pretty much gone through everything, boys. What's the point? Thomas to Man United will never play. Yeah, I don't think that will happen. I think he's more likely to go to Leeds, if anyone. But I don't know if Leicester will want us to go to Leeds because obviously it's a championship rival. But we'll see how that one goes. I would imagine that Luke Thomas will probably go somewhere. That'll be my opinion. And Ndidi will go. I'm sure of that. I think Souttar will end up going somewhere as well, potentially Rangers. So yeah, I hope we can bring in at least one more. I think we will. After Fatwa, that is. So yeah, two more right now. I don't know who it's going to be though. I really don't know. Obviously, there's been talk of a centre back potentially coming in. So I have to see. I love duck wraps. It's not bad, are they? Or the Chinese. But there we go. There we go, boys. I think we've pretty much gone through everything. So yeah, make sure to go and drop a like if you haven't already. If you've got any final thoughts, anything on these transfers, feel free to let me know in the chat. But yeah, you know, if you look at Castagne, 15 million there, just a bit less. And Ndidi, you would hope out another 15 there. So you got 30 million there to reinvest. And I think we'll probably spend about another 10 of that maybe on someone before the window ends. But we could maybe finalise another loan deal for McAtee or Howard Bellis, because Man City, I don't think are going to want to sell them for the permanent. Obviously, they got rid of Lavia, who was in their academy, and they messed that one up. So yeah, I think they're going to be a bit tentative about selling youth players. But yeah, them, you know, a few of the Man City lads could definitely be on. But then again, it's just a case of how quickly Leicester can act, because 28th today. It's not long left. Transfer deadline day is on Friday the 1st, I believe, in it. So yeah, I think there still could be a few things going on. Hopefully, let's have a few deals in the pipeline and we can make stuff happen. Castagne gone then? Yeah, here we go from Fabrizio. So it's not officially announced by Fulham, but it is a done deal. 13 million. So there we go. But yeah, boys, that's where I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. Massively appreciated. Make sure to join me at 8:30 as we go live again. You got a double upload from SPORTSA tonight, you lucky boys. We're going to be discussing the Tranmere Rovers game in that one, and if there's any other transfer news which has just come out between now and then, we will obviously go through that as well. So yeah, make sure to join us at 8:30. Thank you for coming in; it's much appreciated. Cheers for getting involved, and obviously make sure to go and drop a like as you head out. And yeah, I'll see you boys in an hour and a half up the city.